So. I think.
The 12th. You say on time, that would be possible. What do you think?
Can you hear us? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear everything. Yes.
Morning, Corey. You can hear this. We're trying to get the echo off.
Here's now.
Yes, that's much better.
Oh, you can't hear us? All right,
Okay.
go.
I, Van Corbin, Happy Text, please. I, Van Corbin, Board Chair, call this meeting of the Board of Trustees at Lincoln University to order on this 20th day of September at 9 a.m. Trustee Lewis, will you lead us in please?
Absolutely. Let's bow, man. Eternal, most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you once again for your love and your kindness and your tender mercies. We thank you, God, because this is the day that you have made, and because you've made it, we're going to rejoice and be glad in it. And before we ask for anything, we simply just want to thank you for a few things. We thank you, Lord, for eyes to see and ears to hear with and legs to walk with and a mouth to speak. We thank you for the movement and the activity of our limbs and the blood, as our ancestors used to say, yet running warm in our veins. We thank you, as recorded in your scripture, for it says we are to enter into your gates with thanksgiving and into your courts with praise. And I want to take the theological perspective to provide application here, which simply means we thank you because you've allowed us to enter into the gates of our beloved Lincoln University and into the inner courts of the ISC building. And for this, we thank you and give you praise. Now, God, we ask for your blessings on the meeting. Bless the president, the executive staff, the faculty. We ask that you would bless the board of trustees, our chair, vice chair, the full suite of board members here. And most importantly, for the reason that we're here, bless the students. We pray, Lord, in their journey as they learn and liberate and lead, that you would use them to be kingdom builders and impact changers. And we ask these things in your mighty name, for we say, and we close it like this: God grant us the serenity, which is the coolness and the calmness to accept the things that we cannot change. Give us the courage to change the things that we can change, but don't stop there. Give us the wisdom, the magnitude, and the fortitude to be able to decipher what the things that we can change versus the things that we cannot change. For this is our prayer unto you in your matchless, mighty, magnificent, manifold, and magnanimous name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Lewis, can you call the roll?
Yes. Roll call. Chairman Jordan, Chairman Porterman,
President,
President Allen,
somebody has their,
Present.
Trustee Archie,
President.
Trustee Carney Nunez,
Present.
Trustee Cooks,
Present.
Trustee Dennis,
Present.
Trustee Dunbar,
Excused.
Trustee Garcia,
Present.
Trustee Hargrove.
Present.
Trust- Thank you. Trustee Hooks,
Here.
Trustee Johnson,
Present.
Trustee Jones Clement,
Present.
Trustee Jordan,
Present.
Trustee Lancaster,
Here.
Trustee Levis, Trustee Lawson,
Here.
Trustee Maddox,
Present.
Trustee May,
Present.
Trustee Lewis is present, Trustee Love,
Present.
Trustee Johnson Osirum,
Present.
Trustee Parker,
Here.
Trustee Petty,
Here.
Trustee Rowe,
Lynette Kuhn is here for Dr. Rowe.
Trustee Ridley,
Present.
Vice Chair Rochester.
Here.
Trustee Sebastro,
Here.
Trustee Simmons,
Present.
Trustee Vaughn,
Here.
Trustee Walker,
Present.
Trustee Williams,
Here.
Trustee Bennett, Trustee Chambers, excuse. Trustee Rowe. And Trustee Sadler. We have one.
Thank you. And good morning to everyone. What a glorious day. I'll make my comments in my president's report. First thing on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. And you've all seen the agenda. Are there any proposed changes? Hearing none, if no objections, the agenda is adopted by common consent. Trustee Lewis, will you attend to the minutes from the April 12th meeting?
Absolutely. The minutes were previously distributed. Are there any corrections?
Mr. Secretary,
Yes.
I'd like to note in the minutes that the spelling of our new trustee, Sharice Carney Nunez, although it's pronounced Nunez, it's spelled like noon. E-S. So take that Z out, put the S in, please.
Absolutely. The minutes will be filed as correct.
Thank you. At this point, at this time in our agenda, we have public comment. I know Joe Williams is here for public comment. Oh, I'm sorry. The what? Oh, the June minutes. Oh, the June minutes.
Yes. And the June minutes will be added and corrected as well to be pleased.
Please, state your comment.
The minutes were previously distributed and with corrections, are there any additional corrections? All right, the minutes will be filed as corrected.
Thank you. And we're excited as the new administration. So we have a couple little hiccups. I guarantee you by the next meeting, we won't have any. So just forgive us on our hiccups. At this point, public comment, we have Joe Williams, a former trustee. Mr. Williams, you'll be given 3 minutes. Our vice chair will monitor your 3 minutes. When you get to 30 seconds, she will inform you that you're at 30-second point. So you can begin. And good
I'm
morning.
supposed to get a mic. I'm supposed to get a mic.
Just have a microphone. He wants a microphone.
Microphone's on.
She's about to give you one.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Then I'll read from where I am. Mr. Chairman, Board of Trustees, Mr. Van Cortlandt. Madam President, Brenda Allen. Officers of the board, members of the most excellent faculty, and the stellar members of the university administrators, former members of the board, and the distinguished alumni of this great university, and to the captivating, diverse students of Lincoln University, friends, and unknown TV guest viewers, good morning. My mission this morning is quite simple, yet profound, as I see three topics to be read. First, I will give you some information about my background. For those who don't know. Second, I will reveal by standing here in front of you, this board of trustees, means today, my issue. Third, I will offer a solution to my concern and hope you will consider it. Lastly, I will add a personal request. 61 years ago, I was a freshman at Lincoln University, and I was recommended to the university by my uncle, Homer Ashby, class of 34, supported and encouraged by Frank T. Coleman, class of 35, and Reverend Thomas S. Logan, class of 35. I was welcomed to Lincoln University and blessed to interact with Lincoln's oldest former employee, Emery Wimbledon, who is now 102 years old, and became the adopted son of Franz Jazz Bird, class of 25. Lincoln's only all-American football player. I was happy to serve on the board of trustees and currently a member and happily serve with a member of my high school alumni, Robert Archie, as we went to West Philadelphia together. About 12 years ago, I married the queen of alumni, in my estimation, Carol A. Black, class of 67. We shared similar history. We both worked for Lincoln University. Carol was even the attorney for Lincoln University. Our former spouses worked for Lincoln University. We had joined forces and raised scholarship money for Lincoln. And between us, our children denied us coming to Lincoln. As one child told me, Dad, ain't no way I'm going to work for Lincoln. You work too hard. Today, Carol and I live 6 miles from Lincoln University, and I know they serve fried chicken on Wednesday at Lincoln. Now, the reason I'm here today, earlier this year, the AALU had an election, and two alumni were vetted by the Alumni Association and elected to be members of the board. Let me repeat that again. They were duly elected to represent the AALU membership to the Board of Trustees of Lincoln. Let me be really clear. Unfortunately, the Board of Trustees in chair of the board interceded and intercepted this normal sitting of this aforementioned alumni trustee candidate. The leadership of the board went on to contact the president of the AALU and concocted and presented and submitted a selected alumni to be considered by the Board of Trustees or to be members. I was appalled and troubled by this action. Ironically, this same alumni trustee, several years ago, when I was a member of the Board of Trustees,
we're gonna give you 1 more minute.
We joined forces and opposed the alumni chair to terminate Brenda Allen as trustee. And through our efforts, we were able to make sure that she had a position. And today, I think the board is stuck with a resolution or decree from the board. What really states is that you're going to turn around and change the composition of the board. I offer these points for your consideration. Stay out of the AALU business personal, election is a period. Don't change, I can't change what happened to the board did. You legally can come back and tell me I'm out of order. But now, I'm gonna ask one last question. How are you gonna go and tell future members of this great university, like Brenda Allen, Adrian Gray, Lisa Johnson, Don Scott, Robert Archie, Henry Lancaster, and Carol Black? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. We'll now move to, Dr. Picos, the AALU, president, who is in attendance, and thank you, Dr. Picos, for being, in attendance today, and the floor is yours.
Good morning.
Morning.
Gives me great pleasure today to stand before you and provide you with an update of the AALU. President Allen, Board Chair Corbin, I thank you very much for the opportunity. I assumed this role effective July 1, 2025. Having served in leadership roles previously, I firmly believe that it is important to listen and learn in order to effectively lead. And so to that end, what I have been doing since the results were released in early 2025, I began to meet with key university stakeholders, including the university president, chair of this board, alumni trustees, past presidents of the AALU, as well as alumni from various classes. The knowledge that I have gained from this tour has really enabled me to not only learn, grow, but lead effectively. One of the things that I will share with you as president, my work is grounded in the mission and vision of the AALU, and that's what you see on the screen before you. It's real simple for me. The primary goal is to support Lincoln University and its students. Our bylaws and our constitution, as outlined on the screen, is embedded in everything that this administration will do. And our focus is on 3 T's: time, talent, and treasure. Speaking of the administration, I did want to provide you with a view of our officers. These are the officers that were elected, and 2 of them have been appointed as outlined in our bylaws. Where you see our logo, that is the finance chair, and we are still in search of someone to fill that position. I believe in fit. It's not just about putting someone in the position, it's about putting the right person in the position who can effectively support us to lead. The way that I've organized the AALU is that the executive committee, which are our elected officers, lead and guide our standing committees. So you will see that the committees are listed under each elected officer. I firmly believe that this ensures succession planning as well as an effective span of control. We have 13 local chapters, which are listed on the far right. And I'm pleased to share with you this morning that we have our first affinity group known as I-95. One of the things that we've been able to accomplish, and what have we been doing since July 1st, you may be asking yourself. I am pleased to share with you that I have worked with the previous administration in this university. And I do want to thank Attorney Boston for her assistance in getting us a signed memorandum of understanding. What you'll see listed underneath of the signed memorandum of understanding are our areas of collaboration. I am really, really pleased that we are focusing on these efforts, and we recently held a meeting with all chapter presidents as well as treasurers where we discussed the alumni toolkit. This toolkit is really used to help us focus on the university's mission and vision and ensures that all of us are provided a consistent message when seeking funding from potential donors. I do want to thank Perry Stinson on his efforts to get us to this point. It has been very, very helpful. What I've been able to do since assuming office is that we have actually created a process by which we will provide information to institutional advancement on a quarterly basis, and that information will outline those individuals who have given to individual chapters and or at the national level, and that will allow the Institutional Advancement Office to provide soft credit for those individuals. So for example, we held our golf tournament this past July. although we will be presenting a check to the university, there are a lot of people behind what we are contributing. So we will be providing to institutional advancement a list of names of alumni who have given so that we can ultimately reach our goal of 10% of alumni giving. And that is part of our goal that we also have for the AALU. And I do want to thank Trustee Dixon, Trustee Love for assisting and working with us. We've also had an information session on alumni support as it relates to admissions and recruitment. I do want to thank Maya Meth and Shalia Braxton. We had an awesome meeting where they outlined for us information as it relates to the admissions toolkit. We also have an alumni ambassador interest form, and we also have a materials request form that we can utilize when seeking to support the university. You'll note that in the presentation, it says alumni toolkit and admissions. Those are live links. You can access the information that we've been provided. There have been other accomplishments that we've had. We've worked with the university. Pleased to share that Lincoln en Blanc was a sold-out event. I did mention our golf tournament. I'm pleased to share with you that the AALU will be presenting a check to Lincoln University in the amount of $40,000 during homecoming. We want to ask that you please put on your calendar July 24th, 2026. That is our golf tournament for next year. We've had an increase in alumni participation in our student move-in day. And speaking of honoring money for Lincoln, recently there was an HBCU and Divine Nine night at Camden Yards. Proceeds from everyone who purchased a ticket and indicated Lincoln University, proceeds from that will also be contributed to Lincoln. This Wednesday, we're having a pop-up dine and donate right close by in Pennsylvania in Broomall, and proceeds from that event will also support Lincoln University. I'm pleased to share with you that I will have the opportunity to attend the Hall of Fame induction of one of our own, Dr. William E. Bennett in Atlanta, Georgia. That will be on September the 27th. So that basically is a wrap-up of what we have accomplished for quarter one. And I do want to highlight one thing in quarter two, homecoming 2025. We have partnered with the YMCA of Greater Brandywine to bring the Fit Truck to the university. That will be an opportunity for us to focus on health and wellness. And I do want to thank Alumni Relations for their support of that endeavor. And our AALU General Body meeting will be on November 1st. I welcome the opportunity to engage in dialogue. On this slide, you will find my email address. And I do want to thank everyone that has helped us transition into this administration. And there's two things I do want to highlight lastly as it relates to treasure, because that is our focus. We will be focusing on and continue to explore and educate our community on one, planned giving, and two, employee matching gifts. So those are two areas of focus that we have as the Alumni Association. I have also communicated to our Ways and Means Committee that our total goal of giving for this year needs to be at least $100,000. I thank you very much for your time, and I will address any questions that you may have.
Thank you, President Pecos, and you've been busy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. You shared with me that the golf tournament that you would be at this meeting, and you were here and kept your commitment. That's greatly appreciated. Our back and forth discussions have been fantastic, and we're excited about you at the helm.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you.
Next on the agenda is the conflict of interest statement. I'm going to reference it in your packet. I'm not going to read the statement at any of the meetings, so please refer to it in your packet. And that leads us to the chair report. And I want to officially thank everyone for electing me as your new board chair. You know, as a graduate of Lincoln University, this is undoubtedly one of the proudest things that has ever happened to me. So I thank you all for that vote of confidence. You know, Gerald built a tremendous foundation. This is a highly functioning board. As Charlie Nim said, you know, when he was with us at the retreat, you know, he hasn't seen a board like this in a long, long time. thanks to the Alumni Association for the three newest alumni trustees, trustee Maddox Hooks and Carney Nunes. We put them to work right away. They're all in leadership roles. We asked for key talent and the Alumni Association delivered. I've been a little busy as well. July 1st, I took over the realms and it's been a whirlwind, quite frankly. On July 20th, it was El Blanc. On July 21st, the Alumni Golf Tournament. August 2nd through the 5th. And Dr. Allen was at every one of these things, so I'm not playing a violin, I'm just sharing with you, we've been pretty busy. On July 21st, August 2nd through the 5th, the Lincoln Foundation retreat. August 25th and 26th, our board retreat. And I commend this board. We had 27 of the 31 board members in attendance. It was a rebirthing of the board in a sense, because we know to get to world class, which is one of the major themes, it starts with relational. And we got to know each other a lot better. I know things about people in this room now that I never would have expected. But it was a wonderful time. We had Charlie Nims come in and he talked about board governance and the role of the board. So this board is crystal clear on their role and is committed, and everyone recommitted at that retreat. And I thank you all for attending that. And then this past week, Trustee Sebastro, first of all, thank you for opening up your home to us for the retreat. It was phenomenal. Trustee Sebastro, this 8 a.m. Investment meeting, which is the first thing that I attended this week. We need to talk about that time. And then the foundation board also met that same day. And I can tell you that the foundation board is off to a tremendous start in their 2.0 mission. It's a complete restart. Dwight is stepping down. But the leadership, Kwame and the whole team is tremendous. Trustee Love, Trustee Sebastro, Dr. Allen and I sit on that board. And I can tell you that that board is on its way to high functioning as well. And then the evaluation committee met on the 17th. Trustees agreed to nominations on the 18th. And then yesterday was just a fluffery of meetings. We had buildings and properties, business affairs, planning development, ed policy, academic affairs, student affairs, and audit. And then last night was one of the most amazing things I've seen in a long time. Dr. Allen, along with our Reverend Faison, they showed us this rite of passage that the students have been going through for 8 years. The last 8 years, correct? And they did a rite of passage and bestowed upon each one of us a stall. And Dr. Allen took the time to personally have the dialogue with each board member. And it was special. I saw tears in eyes, I saw people just full of emotion. And that tells you about the relationship between this board and our president. Because not every president can share words about every single board member that put the stall around. So thank you, Dr. Allen. So it's been a little busy. There are two tireless emeritus trustees that have been trailblazers and have given and still give much to Lincoln and our community and our society. The first one is Dr. Chambers. Dr. Chambers was not feeling very well today, so he's not on with us. But he shared with me 3 days ago. He said the mind can absorb as much as the seat can endure. After that, he said, so no long meetings, Brother Corbin. And Dr. Bennett, on September 27th, will be inducted into HBCU Hall of Fame. Dr. Allen and I will be there as well. And that is just a tremendous, tremendous piece. Trustee Carney Nunes and I have been trying to see if I think he's the 8th from Lincoln to ever be nominated into the Hall of Fame. And it's a who's who. Thurgood Marshall's on the list. Somebody just flashed. No, it's 8. We went back and forth and back and forth. We come up to 8. But I thought it was 5. Then it's 6. So it's somewhere between 5 and 8.
The foundation board member Ashley Gabb emailed last night and said there may be one more, so he might be 9th.
Okay, yeah, so we've been engaged with, and Ashley Gabb is actually the director for the HBCU Hall of Fame. That's where I'm getting my information from. Because Thurgood Marshall is claimed actually at Howard, but we all know that's issue. But you know, but Dr. Bennett and Dr. Chambers have set the example, and this board is on a pathway to world class. But to get there, we have to have that same spirit that Dr. Chambers and Dr. Bennett had. You know, they are always available for Lincoln University. They are putting in their time, talent, and treasure, and we have to have relentless commitment to this university. Dr. Allen, you know, and the entire staff. I mean, that's the only way we get to world class. But because remember, we don't get to world class unless the university is world class. It's a hand-in-hand mission that we go on. So my vision for this board is for us to change everything around the branding of Lincoln University and start telling the Lincoln story. Because as Charlie Nim said, it's the best untold story in academia. And we have the data and everything, you know, founded in 1854 to educate a group that had no history of college. You think about that. And in 2025, 92% of the students coming into the university are first gen. So theoretically, our mission hasn't changed at all. Not many institutions that have been around since 1854 can say, we still have the same focus, we still have the same mission. And this story needs to be told. We're a gem when you look at it. And we as a board are at the right place at the right time with the right administration, with the right leadership in Dr. Allen. And here's my closing comments. You know, the only easy day was yesterday. We all know that. And everything we want is on the other side of hard, right? So the only thing that can stop this board, this president, and this university is us. Now, I know we're smart enough not to stop ourselves. So I'm excited to join you on this journey, and let's tell the story, because your story is important. And we have to be ambassadors everywhere we are, not sometimes, all the time. When you walk out your door, you get in your car and you start the engine, turn that light on that says Ambassador for Lincoln University, because that's going to make the difference. And I thank you. So with that, Dr. Allen, I'll turn it over to you for the president's report.
Good morning. That's a little bit hard to follow because you and Trustee Lewis taking us to church this morning. It's been quite a day. So good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is Maya back there or? Okay. So before I have Maya give you an update on fall enrollment, I just have a few things to follow up on. If you can move forward. So first of all, want to welcome 3 new senior staff people. My new chief of staff, Ms. Letitia Wall, she's in the back. Can you stand up and wave to people? Most of you met Dr. Smith yesterday. She's the new vice president for student success and dean of the college. She had to leave last night for a conference, but again, we welcome her. She's hit the ground running. And then also in the back is the new provost and dean of the faculty, Dr. Pia Dees. Again, she's been around for about 15 years, but new to the office of the provost. And so we can just thank them and welcome them. Next slide. So if you can hit that, go back. Yeah, if you can just show the link. So some of you last night had an opportunity to see this link connected, and it's our rites of passage put together by Parker and his group. And I wanted to show this because all but that picture right there, but anyway, how important it's been to welcome students in. So this is welcome back. This is new student orientation. And we've been offering students this stole. And the important thing about the stole is that it not only has Lincoln University on it, it's Kente, because we want to make sure that we understand that the legacy here began somewhere else. But it also is embroidered with their class year. And the idea is that we want students from week one to understand that this is a 4-year journey, that they're here to move forward, to get through in 4 years. But we also want them to understand that they have joined a really very important legacy, and that their time here is a time for them to figure out, at least part of the way, what their journey and what their legacy will be. And so it's come to be just a really great event. And as trustee Chairman Corbin said, we want to also make sure that board members knew that they are also part of the legacy. So I'm gonna put the mic down for 1 minute. Scrappy didn't come last night, but I have a. Make sure. Right, we've been through a lot together, so we're gonna make sure that we understand. Keep that now down How important you've been to the board, so we think that you stuck with us and. Oh, man, you've been wild. You don't know how valuable you've been to us, so thank you for coming back and, providing all your input. So far, we're just moving so much further with telling this story, so we're so fortunate to have you. Right here. So Judge Kirkland, since she's been here, I might get 3 texts a week. She has all her friends in Philadelphia, and she's been connecting us with anybody who would listen to her talk about things. So we are so grateful to have you here, and thank you so much. You've been here a short time. I'm sorry, I think a little bit more. And you don't get them. So Bert and I have a special relationship. He's my boss and I'm his boss. But it's been great to get to know you, and you all have to really experience him in leadership. He is the CEO of the Brandywine Y, and he's been amazing. I've been on that board now to the second CEO, and you just don't know how much he's changed our organization. So we are so proud that you are lying and that you are just showing up everywhere. So. Sandy also has been with us through the hard times, and she's still sticking with us. More than that, she has the best husband in the world. Sorry, Charmaine, he's my other boyfriend. Thank you so much for sticking through, for moving forward. You know, it was a tough time previous to 2020, and you had the grace and just, the wherewithal to move yourself forward and to move us forward. And we're fortunate that you were here. So thank you very much. Thank you. All right. One more. One more after this. For you, Bob.
No, I'm too tall.
Okay. So I really can't find all the words to thank Bob. But I think I'm here 5 years after 2020, a lot because of Bob. And you know what, at commencement, I had my Fantastic Four, but Bob was the leader. Bob is also like Judge Kirkland. He knows everybody in Pennsylvania. And when it came time to say, this is not right, that's not right, we need to do this, he was there for me. And so I will always be grateful for the support you've given me. And I'm just so glad you're still here with us. So.
And tissue.
Thank you. I think you will might be the first, governor appointee to get as many jobs as she had coming in the door. She's also the one, if the budget is passed, she sends me a text. If I need to call somebody, she sends me a text. If they are not talking about us in the room, she's sending me a text. And so she's my on the ground in the room, always watching out for Lincoln. And so we are just so grateful that you are still with us in this meeting, and we love you, and you're now part of the list. Okay. Enough of that. Just a couple more things. So again, welcome everyone. It's important that we let you know how much we appreciate you. And so having you be a part of us and a little piece of our heart is what this is meant to do. And again, we want to thank Reverend Faison for just getting this done so quickly. You can move on. I just have a couple more things. I'll give this to Maya. I was just talking about things we have done since school started back. So we've had an open convocation. You can keep moving, Adriana. On Wednesday, just this week, we welcomed Ambassador Tete Antonio, who was the Minister of External Relations for from the Republic of Angola. Came with a whole cadre of people. He had a meeting. We invited other representatives from other HBCUs that are interested in sort of a collective collaboration between HBCUs here and the Republic of Angola. He then did a lecture, a public lecture. We were so proud to have so many faculty members and students show up, but also our local officials also made sure that they were there. So the governor sent a letter, Senator Committer, Senator Representative, Representative Houlihan was supposed to be here, but given everything that's going on, she couldn't make it. But it was a really nice showing, a really nice reception. Again, we get a hands up to Thompson, who's been doing a great job just stepping up our presentation of everything. But again, it was a really great day, and more to come because we're talking about partnerships that we can have with Angola. Next slide. Becoming Thurgood was then Thursday evening. I guess all that was Thursday. And nothing else to say except my 2 minutes of fame in the movie. If you haven't seen my mayor, please tune in. Yeah, Thurgood. We'll move on. And then this week was a busy week in student success. We have something that's called Industry Week. We have this week prior to the career fairs that'll happen homecoming week. And so just want you to see the schedule. At the retreat, we talked about how we need to sort of meet up with industries and have them come in. So just wanted to show you an example. So we have this early in September. These companies come in, they go to classes, they have tables, they meet with faculty, they meet with students, and it gets our students ready for the career fair. So they understand some of the expectations, they understand some of the career options, they understand what these employers are looking at. And from what I'm told from the organizers, this was the best industry week since we started about 2 or 3 years ago. Part of that is probably because we now have LLE, where we are requiring students in pathways 1 and 2 to be a part of the things that are happening in the co-curricular area. So it was a great week for them. And so with that, I think that was it for me. Hit the next slide. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Maya Knapp, who is our Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management. Thank you. Did I use mic today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
All right, while we're getting the presentation pulled up, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad to see you all. For those that I haven't met before, my name is Maya Matthews, Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management. I have had the honor of seeing a couple of you all. Trustee Jordan was at NSO this summer. And then Trustee JP, I should know what JP stands for, but Trustee JP, we've had an opportunity to work together with some initiatives around communication and getting ourselves a communication manager, which is going to be amazing. But there's going to be a couple of things that I'm going to address with you all today. Number one is how we landed in fall, giving you a snapshot of where we are for both the new students as well as the returning. Number two, we're going to talk a little bit about where we're seeing some drop off and where we're going to be responding. And number three, we're going to be looking at opportunities and risks as we go into this next academic year. So we look at our incoming class. We landed at 405 students that were both transfers and first years. Now, while we see the declines in many of the categories, the one spot I want to make sure that we're highlighting is the admitted students. The team did a lot of outreach and we fixed some of our systems to increase that admit number and making sure that students not only started an application, completed it, but also were able to get admitted. Now, as you're looking at that completed to admitted, that will include students primarily that were not admitted to the institution. But again, our team did a really fantastic job of working on converting those applications. Now, as we look at that separated, our first year numbers and our first year students were the group that we saw the drop in the most. But as you look on the transfer side, we have had some tremendous gains on that transfer side with a huge increase in those that matriculated. I want to thank our athletic partners. They have been working really hard in that transfer portal to get some of those transfer students in. And we were able to work campus-wide, especially as their timeline may be a little different than the traditional, even transfer student timeline. So we're working with them and working across campus to make sure that we can get those students in, not just the athletes, but others as well, get them in and here and successful for their first semester. Now, a little bit about our fall class. They had a 3.04 GPA. Last year, we had a 3.1. So it's a very slight difference in our GPA for those students. We had $2.1 million that was awarded for our academic scholarships. And again, it ends up being about half of our class is getting those merit-based scholarships. As we look at our residency, we're seeing some really interesting things here. So last year we were at 45% out of state and 45% in state, 55% out of state. We are now seeing that we are 50-50. Which is something that we have been looking forward to as we're going. We've also seen an increase in male students. So we're seeing 45% male, 49% young women. And then as we're looking, again, we're still seeing Pennsylvania, of course, it's the highest, but as we combine the others, again, we're at about 50%. So I will take any of those great wins that we can. Where we saw the drop in the students is women from out of state. So as we're looking compared last year for our male population, we are about 7% up in young men. And then for in-state population, we're up about 5%. As we looked a little bit deeper into our international students, because I know that this committee, the board has interest in how we're shaping up with international students. For 25, we are seeing an overall number for main campus drop for our in-state or for our international students. So last year we had about 44 international students on main campus. This year we have 32, but we are seeing an increase from last year on our incoming students. So last year we had 7 new students that were international. This year we have not. So we've had a little bit of an increase there, which is really exciting. And then we are also looking at that international scholarship strategy a little bit differently to also pull from international students that are transfers and being able to help them fund their education as well as what we would usually do for those new incoming. Moving right along. Hopefully y'all can see this. I'll show you a separate slide in a moment. Oh no, this one doesn't. So as we're looking at SACE, SACE had a drop in a significant drop in all areas. So we are looking, and I know you guys are going to ask questions about that. That is for the November board. But we are looking at all the strategies for both undergraduate, graduate, so that we can increase, of course, our applications, our completion, and of course, the students that are going to be matriculating. So my buddy Edison and I are going to be working really diligently with our admissions team and with Journeys and the team over there to make sure that as we're looking at these spring numbers, that we utilize the opportunity for spring. So again, this presentation is mostly covering main campus. So as we've been discussing, what is next? What are we going to do for 25-26? We have a lot of great opportunities. And as we met with President Allen, there were some things that we want to really get back to the roots of relationships. So there's a couple of things that we are going to be doing this year. Technology is still going to be important. That sort of infrastructure pieces will always be important, but we want to get back to telling our story, number one. We want to get back to our relationships, and we want to get back to utilizing our resources in the best way that we can. So here's just a couple of areas in which we've highlighted that we want to make sure that we're addressing. Number one is telling our story. All the stories that we even heard this morning are deserving to be shared, right? How do we make sure that, especially for that 90% first generation group that we have coming in, what is a liberal arts education? How does that connect with co-curriculum, right? That's a word that we use often on campus and use often with the board and others. But what does that actually mean for a student that has never had anybody in their family go to college? So how do we make that a bit more accessible to them to understand all of the opportunities? We also want to engage those counselors. Those are one of the, outside of the parents, they're one of the most influential partners for a student when they're making their decision. So in spring, we had our first community college counselor luncheon, where we had a few that we are already partnered with, as well as a couple that we want to partner with, to start to understand, like, what is happening on your campus and how does Lincoln fit in with that? This fall, we're going to have our first school counselor luncheon, inviting counselors from the area to, of course, learn about Lincoln, but also possibly give them some professional development around some topics that they're interested in, as well as what's going on with them. But the important thing is that we're getting them here, they're meeting our people, and they're hearing our story. They can't tell our story if they don't know it and if they haven't seen it for themselves. We're wanting to look at our high achieving students, make sure that they understand the high value that Lincoln can offer them, despite what they may have seen or heard. We want to make sure that we are showing and interacting with them in a way that they are really understanding that everything that you can get up the street at Harvard, you can get here. We want to make sure we're looking at our measurable outcomes, as well as looking at our competition in the area to see what else are they doing to attract those high achieving students, because we're all fishing from the same pond, right? So how do we make sure that we're looking at all the different strategies in order to reach those high achieving students? As we just saw with transfer students. Transfer students are going to be a huge part of our strategy, of course, for the incoming class, but also to help fill in when we have a bit of students that do not persist. So we have our MOU committee that we're looking at. We're looking at how we streamline credit evaluation through the Office of Admission. So that way, when they get their decision, they get their credit evaluation right then and there. And then we're looking at those pathways for transfers to make sure that they're as clean as possible, as clear as possible. How do we do early advising? How do we do any dual enrollment? And have some really great partnerships. We're looking at those networking opportunities for various organizations. We just met with Philadelphia Heights, who's really excited to work with us. Our director of admission has a great relationship with them. We also met with Philadelphia Education Fund as well, who does last dollars for students. And so we're really excited to have some of these partnerships of people that value what we do and want to make sure that we have a mutual beneficial relationship for their students. We know that gap is a conversation. I feel like every meeting we talk about the gap that students have. So how are we looking at the need of students? How are we formulating ways to help them cover? We do have goals for our strategic enrollment management plan that for any Pell eligible student, they will have no more than a $3,000 balance. And for non-Pell eligible students, they will have no more than a $7,000 balance. Now, that's going to 2030, so we've got some time to get there. But how are we looking at the dollars that we have right now to utilize them a little bit better? And last but not least, we've heard in a couple of different places about alumni engagement. So, this is one of those areas that it has such high value. We have the storytelling aspect. We have the desire and passion aspect of our alum that want to jump in. And so we're creating structures, for them to be able to be trained, but also avenues beyond somebody sitting at a table at a fair, right? There's alum that may be able to do videos, personalized videos to students. There's opportunities for us to do, what some places call, senior sit-offs, right? Where you, in your area, we can arrange something regional for the students there, for them to get to know you and to have some connection with their community, where even their parents might be able to connect with you when they have questions, concerns. Postcard writing. There's so many different avenues that alumni can help to support this recruitment. And again, it gets back to not only creating a relationship with the alumni, but creating long relationships with the students as well. So as we look at our overall enrollment, that came out way smaller than it was supposed to. We are at 1394 for our total for 2025. And then for SACE, we are at 40. I can't even see my own stuff. Anybody else can see it before me? Let me know.
138.
Thank you. Y'all got good eyeballs. I appreciate it. 138. So again, we are seeing drops in both, for enrollment. Again, a lot of that is that incoming number has dropped. But as we have talked about in previous, in the April board meeting, when we talk about where those numbers fall, we also have to be looking at the retention numbers as well. The incoming number is important, but we have to be looking at who we're losing out the back door. We talked about it's cheaper to keep her. It costs twice as much to recruit a student as to keep a student, right? So how are we also looking at that backside of retention students to make sure we're not leaking those students that we fought hard to get here, that they're leaving out the back door? So as we look ahead, there's a couple of things that we have opportunities for, and there's things that we have risk for. So, number one, some of our opportunities are leveraging some of those community college partnerships and high schools, so that we're looking at building better pipelines. We're wanting to strengthen, especially our local commitment, particularly in Philadelphia. Again, talking about Heights, our Philadelphia Education Fund, and many others. Number two, we want to be looking at, number three, we want to be looking at that financial aid. We have a pot of money, but how are we making sure that we're using it in the best way possible? We've talked about many times in here about what financial optimization may be able to offer, but that gives us a really clean view on how to give the maximum dollars to a student to give them an opportunity to decide. And for every $1,000 that we give a student, it increases their decision to come to Lincoln by about 10%. So we have to keep that in mind as we are looking to reformulate our funds. Expanding into our non-traditional markets, especially when it comes to SACE, looking at our graduate and adult population of learners. And we have an opportunity to build out some retention pathways to ensure that we're helping our most vulnerable students be able to stay at the institution. And where we're seeing a lot of that vulnerability, especially for our in-state students and for our male population. Those are the two that we really have to be looking at. Now, we got to be realistic about the risks as well. Those financial barriers, those gaps that those students have. FIA and Pell have not increased in years, but everything else is still going up. Their home life, everything else. So how are we looking at that gap analysis for those students? The landscape around here is fierce, right? Drexel has a transfer scholarship or a transfer grant that gives their transfer students 50% off of tuition. Temple has a last dollar grant for Philly students that make under $65,000 for their household income to be able to cover whatever that gap is, right? Those are areas that we are 100% recruiting from. That is huge. Philadelphia is a huge market for us. So we have a lot of institutions that are also fighting for those same students. So how are we looking at our landscape to make sure that we're getting our market share? We're looking at yield and melt and making sure that we have an understanding of what's happening there. We also need to be looking at our retention, right? We talk about scalable. We don't want things that will just last for this year. We want to make sure we're building infrastructure to make it sustainable for years to come, especially as we head towards our goal in 2030 of 1850 enrolled. And last but certainly not least, the biggest risk of all is looking at our enrollment and how it impacts our budget. Our missing our targets cause revenue gaps, and it causes barriers to being able to serve our students. That is what I have for today. I'm open for any questions.
The question, please raise your hand. We'll
Yes.
I'm not sure what yield and melt means.
Sure, absolutely. So yield is from when you have your admitted student population to then deposit. So you're looking at those students that you were admitted to the institution and you decided not to come. You decided not to deposit. That is a negative yield for that number. Melt is where, yes, you have deposited and then you don't come. So you have a couple, like we want to always count those deposits, like, yes, they're here, you know it, you can count them in the bucket, especially not anymore. After 2018, where NACAT changed their policies and philosophy, it used to be like it was respected. After May 1, whatever you got, you got. But after that, it's free game for folks to be able to be like, well, I know you deposited over here, but I got an extra $5,000 for you, why don't you come over here, right? So people again are trying to pull folks in. So it's not, we want to increase yield so that we're getting more of those deposits, but we also have to make sure, again, we're not losing people out the back door once we actually have. So there's engagement on both sides of that to make sure that those, that we're not leaking students along the way. Thank you. No problem. Yes.
We'll recognize trustee Maddox first. We'll entertain a couple more questions. Trustee Sarah and trustee Sebastian.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. Great job. I was wondering, you did it towards the very end of your presentation when you talked about regionally how we stack up against dollars that are available for students and things of that nature. The question I have, how do we stack up in terms of admissions, applications, acceptances, and, admittance to other schools in the area or in the region, and then our biggest competitors, right? Maybe Cheney, maybe Bell State. Are we operating on the same level? Are they having the same sort of attrition rates, same sort of migration rates? Are we better or are we worse? Are we looking at any of that information just to see where we stack in terms of what the trends are just in the industry at all?
Absolutely. So we have not done that analysis for this year, mostly because a lot of institutions have not done their fall, the institutional research report. But yes, in past years, we have looked at, especially PASHE, because they have a lot of data on their website. It's the AOD report. I used to work there as well. But when we're looking at those, it's volatile depending on the year, right? So somebody shared an article with me about like LaSalle, right? LaSalle has been down for a number of years. This year they're up. But when you look deeper into why they're up, they added a lot of things, right? That if you didn't read that article, you would have never known that they added. You just saw 100+ students. So while we can look at the numbers, there's structure, there's infrastructure, there's scholarship differences that make a huge difference. But as we're looking at about our regional landscape, it is up and down. We know schools like Drexel, we know schools like Penn State, they are having their own challenges as well. Now, when we're looking at some more of our HBCU competition, again, it has been very volatile depending on the year. But a lot of our competition, and I'm happy to share like who our competitors are. We'll have to get that updated because I think it's maybe at least like a year old. That institutional research gave us our competitor report, but we can get that updated and shared as well. Yeah.
We're for the sake of time, we'll take one more question. You'll stick around for the break.
Yes.
And then we'll have whoever asked that question articulate to us. We'll get that question asked and answered out to the board. So.
Okay. Maya, thank you so much for your presentation. Just a quick thing, because I feel like I may have asked you this in the past. for those students who are admitted and those students who deposit and do not come, do we do surveys to make sure we know what the reasons are? That's number one. And number two, if the chair will permit me, I'm just curious, do we have alums or we have, I think, a very, very strong alumni network, but I was curious about that with respect to international students and international student recruitment. And if in fact there are people positioned who in fact can really be the on the ground folks for some of that work.
Okay. So number one, on the second point, we have not, fully engaged that particular group, but I think that is a group of opportunity. Number two, yes, so we bounce it off of National Student Clearinghouse for any students that didn't come. We get a report back on if they went somewhere or if they didn't. And then we also send out a survey to those that did not end up coming so that we can get some meaningful data on why. So yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, and going forward, we're gonna inject Maya into the Student Affairs Committee meeting. So you just got put into a Friday meeting, so you did a great job, congratulations.
And we're gonna keep moving. So, Dr. Allen, you have two.
So wanted to ask Chief if he can just give a brief, sense of security. As you know, the last couple of weeks, we've been getting bomb threats and so on. Just wanted him to, tell you where Lincoln is and what we're doing to try to manage safety on campus. I don't think he needs it, right?
Why is that? Am I loud?
Yeah.
No, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate, Dr. Allen for giving me this minute of time. I'm not gonna take too long, Chair. So here's the issue. We seem to be the whipping post for everybody's, vitriol, right? So we all know what happened, in Utah. I'm not gonna talk about that because I don't want to. But, it seems that we as an HBC, the HBCU community, were the target of people's frustrations or people's boredom. So in that manner, people create terrorism to change the way that you move, right? And people get off on that. It's just like with an arsonist. Now, we talked about this in cabinet. A lot of arsonists will set something on fire, leave, come back, and look at their work because they're getting something out of it. And that seems to be what we're getting. People are looking to see what they get out of their behaviors. So a lot of the colleges went into lockdown. A lot of the colleges called in extra resources and it just made a big deal out of it. Some of those colleges have to do that. We at Lincoln, because we're so in touch with our community, and I'm not talking about just me, but we're in touch with our community. So if anything is out of order, we will know before somebody calls us and says what they did, whatever they want to say. So we did get one bomb threat. Came in, they said, we have a bomb in your building and I'm standing in the woods with an AR-15 and I'm gonna do whatever, right? So my call takers have all gone through a short communications training on how to deal with stuff like that. So the call taker who was there is probably the most sarcastic person I had working for me and said, "You're outside of our building right now?" And they said, "Yeah, outside of your building right now." They said, "Well, my chief is standing outside and he's taking care of his dog and whatever else he put in his truck. So do you see him?" And the person hung up. So at that point, I surveyed everybody to make sure that there was no issues, there's nothing out of the ordinary. One thing that we do, we're so in contact with our custodial staff. Those are the individuals that are gonna know what's out of place. So we reach out to them. Hey, do you see anything different? Nobody saw anything different. We didn't have to do the lockdown. We didn't have to put ourselves in the spotlight, like I told President Allen. Why put yourself in the spotlight so somebody could see that they affected your everyday opportunities and continue to do those things? So the fact that we are so entrenched in community is it plays to our advantage. So the state of security here at Lincoln, in my opinion, is good. We have a great relationship with everybody in our accountability model. Everybody's accountable to everybody else, and that creates those relationships that pushes us forward. So you may see things going on. If you don't hear anything from me, we're good, right? When I panic, that's when you panic. All right? And I yield the rest of my time. Thank you, Dr.
Oh, thank you. Okay, and finally, we have, two policies that need board approval. One is a new, conflict of interest policy. The resolution reads, resolve that Lincoln University Board of Trustees hereby approves the conflict of interest policy. And as with all, it's just indicating that we are responsible for acknowledging any conflicts, and then there's a process by which we can resolve that and remediate that. And the second is a resolution that has to do with electric scooters on campus, as we try to have less vehicle transportation. We want to have a policy also for scooters. And so it says, resolve that Lincoln University Board of Trustees hereby approves the scooter and personal e-device use and safety policy. We discussed these yesterday in executive session. They were satisfied enough to bring them forward to the board for full adoption. And so with that, do I ask for a motion?
Yes, yes.
I'm asking for a motion.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadiness?
Mr. Chair, I would suggest at this time we do one resolution at a time. Not both resolutions. Motion was made, but are you for one resolution or two?
Okay, so we can move to, we'll amend the motion for the first one and then have one for the second. I will second. So,
I'll see
the first
the
one.
conflict of interest policy, a motion to approve the conflict of interest policy.
Second. So moved and properly second. Is there any other unreadiness? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Chairman Corbin,
Yay.
President Allen,
Yes.
Trustee Archie,
Yes.
Trustee Carney Nunez,
Yes.
Trustee Cook,
Yes.
Trustee Dick,
Yes.
Trustee Garcia,
Yes.
Trustee Hargrove,
Yes.
Trustee Hook,
Yes.
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Jones Clement,
Yes.
Trustee Jordan,
Yes.
Trustee Lancaster,
Yes.
Trustee Levis, Trustee Lawson,
Yeah.
Trustee Maddox,
Yes.
Trustee May,
Yes.
Trustee Lewis, yes. Trustee Love,
Yes.
Trustee Johnson Osiris,
Yes.
Trustee Parker,
Yes.
Trustee Petty,
Yes.
Trustee Kuhn,
Yes.
Trustee Ridley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rochester,
Yes.
Trustee Sebastro,
Yes.
Trustee Simmons,
Yes.
Trustee Vaughn,
Yes.
Trustee Walker.
Yes.
Motion has been approved.
Motion passed.
Second, looking for a motion to approve the electric scooter policy. Resolve that Lincoln University Board of Trustees hereby approves the scooter and personal e-device use and safety policy.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. Any unreadiness?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Trustee.
Unfortunately, if you said this was discussed yesterday in the executive session, the public does not know what what you're recommending when we adopt this motion. So would you just tell the public what the policy is?
Just summarize it right quick.
Yes,
So the electric scooter.
yes, ma'am.
So basically, we brought in the electric scooter policy because there are a number of electric devices, not just scooters, but also micro mobility, anything that's attached to like hoverboards. We're not seeing that, but we're seeing scooters actually on campus. So we want to adopt a policy to make sure that we are preserving ourselves from liability, ensuring that we work with campus police to have them wear helmets, to make sure that we're protecting them on campus, to make sure that they're riding on the sidewalks. It does not prevent electric mobilities for like disability accommodations, but just any electric scooters that are found on campus, we wanna have a policy for that.
Oh, we limited a one electric scooter to one student, like we did with cars at one time?
Can you repeat that question?
Are we saying you can only bring, if I'm a student here, can I only bring one scooter?
We don't have that engineered. Basically says if you have a scooter and you're gonna ride it, you need a helmet. It needs to be on the sidewalk, not in the vehicle things,
Excuse my ignorance, but do you need a license to?
You don't.
we don't do lights. And we looked at it in terms of the miles per hour that the maximum miles per hour, which is dictating where they can ride the scooter. So being sure that folk are not in the middle of the drive, the street riding scooters, that they have a helmet and all the other safety things that are important.
Excuse my second question, ignorance, must I have insurance if I have a scooter?
We can't mandate that.
No, I just asked the question.
Yeah.
We don't need insurance if you have a scooter. What about that other vehicle? You
Just
said,
anything micro mobility that operates electronically, this policy applies. So it can be an electric bike, it can be, just depending on the miles per hour, it could be a hoverboard, so this is all electronic devices. Except for those that are covered under, ADA.
says you're talking about motorcycles also?
No, so it's miles per hour is one of the definitions.
They said 20.
Yeah.
10.
And you satisfy my readiness.
Thank you very much. Any other readiness?
I just have a question.
Is it, you have a readiness?
On the motion, I had a question about the helmet.
Yes.
Okay, so I thought I noticed in the policy that you couldn't mandate them to wear a helmet, but. It's encouraged. How will you increase helmet use if you can't mandate it?
So I think that was a question that trustee Cooks brought up yesterday, and we went back and did research while we were down in the strategic planning discussion. We can't mandate it because once you require everybody to wear a helmet, if we're not constantly walking around all day long enforcing it, and something happens to someone, then it looks like we haven't forced liability, so it's opening up the can for us to make sure that we're enforcing it, and so most universities go with strongly encouraged. We also did a comparison analysis to all of the semi-private institutions, and all of their policies say strongly encouraged.
Chairman, do we inform our insurance company of this policy and that are we covered under our policy for students who have electric vehicles and have an accident of some type?
Yes, I will do that upon approval of this policy.
Okay.
Is there any other?
Do we have to make that a part of the resolution? It's just understood.
It's just understood. Is there any other readiness? Hearing none?
Yes. Chairman Corbin,
Yes.
President Allen,
Yes.
trustee Archie,
Yes.
Chairman Carney Nunez,
Trustee.
trustee.
I didn't know how to answer the question, but yeah.
Trustee Carney Nunez. Trustee Cooks.
Yes.
Trustee Jacks.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia.
Yes.
Trustee Hargrove.
And here.
Trustee Hargrove.
Yes.
Trustee Hooks.
Yes.
Trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Clement.
Yes.
Trustee Jordan.
Yes.
Trustee Lancaster.
Yes.
Trustee Lawson.
Yeah.
Trustee Maddox.
Aye.
Trustee May.
Yes.
Trustee Lewis, yes. Trustee Love.
Yes.
Trustee Johnson O'Sara.
Yes.
Trustee Parker.
Yeah.
Trustee Petty.
Yes.
Trustee Kuhn.
Yes.
Trustee Ridley.
Yes.
Vice Chair Rochester.
Yes.
Trustee Sebastro.
Yes.
Trustee Simmons.
Yes.
Trustee Vaughn,
Yes.
trustee Walker,
Yes.
trustee Kirk.
Yes.
Perfect. And we have a majority.
Motion passed. Next, we have the treasurer's report. By Wilburn.
Good morning, trustees. I'm gonna share with you the treasurer's report, which is also in your package. This report is broken down into three categories. It has got cash balances comparing June 2024 to June 2025. Then we do have a section that shows outstanding loans. Then the third or last section there is investments. I would just highlight the middle section where we have LU $11.5 million that we moved from the foundation to help with our cash flows. Then the last item I'm gonna share with you is the investment performance comparing June 30, 2024, where we put 8 million to June 30, 2025, where the investment was at 52 million. That's a positive change over the year of about 9% comparing those 2 years. That concludes the treasurer's report. Are there any questions that we might be able to answer?
You wanna answer that? You guys are from, thank you.
Thank you. So it's 10:19. We're gonna take a break until 10:30. And we'll pick back up with standing committee reports at 10:30.
Ready for sure?
Thank you, everyone. Attention.
Ready because tomorrow.
Staff 10:30, we're gonna resume. We have one piece to be done before we move to standing committees, Dr. Allen.
Yes, so when I was handing out stoles, somehow trustee Sebastro thought we didn't like him. Was there last night, but he was here Thursday night, he was here yesterday. And so I looked, I thought he was in the picture last night.
I thought you were just picking a few special folks.
I need a stove for the whole Sebastian family, because you know, for 3 years in a row, they've opened their homes to us. But I met Jose because he had all his kids and his wife here moving our students in on move-in day a few years ago. And so he has become quickly friend, family, all the kids, the twins and the 2 older girls, Jasmine. He's been just such a great addition to this board, and we are so fortunate to have you and your knowledge. And why would I forget you, just because you don't have white burgundy?
Oh my gosh, I've got to get Dr. Allen some white burgundy. She just won't stop.
To the standing committee, for buildings and property, trustee Coach.
Thank you. The Buildings and Property Committee met yesterday, meeting convened at 8:48. Point of privilege, we'll do better next time, November will be 8:45. We did have a quorum. Some highlights from the meeting, we discussed the out parcel development possibilities. We also had a presentation on a design, build, own, operate, maintain, or BOOM initiative with Grantchester Energy, Bergen Microgrid, leaders in microgrid development. I have a resolution to propose later on. We also had our DGS projects update. And we finished with a DGS look ahead of 5 years out of what capital projects and deferred maintenance we have. And the meeting adjourned at 10:02 a.m. Now I'd like to present a proposed motion from the Buildings and Properties Committee for the Grantchester Group BOOM. Whereas Lincoln University desires to find alternate sources of capital. And whereas Lincoln University seems to be a leader in sustainability as an HBCU. And whereas Grantchester has been partnering in these endeavors to achieve a no cost of capital, sustainable solution for the replacement of aging infrastructure on campus. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes the president of Lincoln University to pursue a proposal from the Grantchester Group to build, own, operate, and maintain a microgrid energy infrastructure for the Lincoln University campus. I will entertain a motion.
So moved. Second. Okay, it's been moved and properly second. Any unreadiness?
One minor, it's gonna be the president and authorized representatives. Would you accept that amendment to your motion? Sure. I don't wanna put too much weight on her.
Is there any other unreadiness? Hearing none, move to, let's go, roll call.
Yep. Chairman Corbin.
Present, yes.
Can't make this stuff up. President Allen,
Yes.
trustee Archie,
Yes.
trustee Carney Nunez,
Yes.
trustee Cook,
Yes.
trustee Dick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia,
Yes.
trustee Hargrove,
Yes.
trustee Hooks,
Yes.
trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Jones Clement,
Yes.
trustee Jordan,
Yes.
trustee Lancaster,
Yes.
trustee Lawson,
Yeah.
trustee Maddox,
Aye.
trustee May,
Yes.
trustee Lewis, yes, trustee Love,
Yes.
Trustee Johnson Osiris,
Yes.
trustee Parker,
Yes.
trustee Petty,
Yes.
trustee Kuhn,
Yes.
trustee Ridley,
Yes.
vice chair Rochester,
Yes.
trustee Sebastro,
Yes.
trustee Simmons,
Yes.
trustee Vaughn,
Yes.
trustee Walker,
Yes.
and trustee Kirkland.
Yes.
We have a majority.
Motion passed. The next thing on the agenda is business affairs. Chairman Larson.
I have some unreadiness. I don't know why trustee Sebastian got a stroke because he's a Giants fan. But I digress.
Those Just because you're a fan of one doesn't mean you oppose everybody else.
I'll pull your buckets, trustee.
In all business for the university. Our committee met yesterday, started out at 10:13 convening. We had a quorum. Some of the highlights that we covered would be discussing the committee responsibilities, the commission of our committee, and documenting the bylaws of our board. Reviewed enrollment for the fall of 2025. Current enrollment projections is 1,520 students, which is about 80 students short of the budgeted enrollment. Reviewed unaudited financial performances for fiscal year 24-25. The university ended the year with 94.5 million in revenue, 91.6 million in expenses, which is a $2.9 million positive margin. We also covered capital expenditures from the Department of General Services at 14.3 million, and an additional 2.5 was spent on capital funds by the university itself. We reviewed and update a collective bargaining agreement, which you have in regards to our police and clerical local 2377. Our meeting convened at 10:54 a.m. And I will be asking for motions on two resolutions. Mr. Chair, should I separate the two or? Okay.
Yes, please bring those resolutions forward.
First resolution would be a collective bargaining agreement for the American Federation of State, County, and Metropolitan municipal employees. And that reads, whereas the administration and clerical negotiating team for the clerical union staff has negotiated a new collective bargaining agreement. And whereas the collective bargaining agreement covers the period of July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2028. And whereas the collective bargaining agreement outlines the terms and conditions upon which the two entities will collaborate to advance the mission, goals, and objectives of Lincoln University. Now therefore be it resolved that Lincoln University Board of Trustees endorses the recommendation of the Business Affairs Committee for the adoption of the clerical collective bargaining agreement for the period July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2028. What would be your pleasure?
Move its adoption, Mr. Chairman. So moved.
Second. It's been moved and probably seconded. Any unreadiness, and I'll address you. You have unreadiness?
I'm not sure what that means either. I have a question.
Ask your
Is it ASME that we're talking about? To be the,
Yes.
yes, okay, and that's the, this university has always dealt with that particular union? For clerical, yes. Oh, okay, then yes, I'm ready to go. I wasn't sure.
Is there any other unreadiness? Hearing none, we'll vote.
Chairman Corbin,
Yes.
President Allen,
Yes.
trustee Archie,
Yes.
trustee Carney Nunez,
Yes.
trustee Cooks,
Yes.
trustee Ditch,
Yes.
trustee Garcia,
Yes.
trustee Hargrove,
Yes.
trustee Hook,
Yes.
trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Jones Clement,
Yes.
trustee Jordan,
Yes.
trustee Lancaster,
Yes.
Trustee Lawson,
Yeah.
trustee Maddox,
Aye.
trustee May,
Yes.
trustee Lewis, yes, trustee Love,
Yes.
trustee Johnson O'Serum,
Yes.
trustee Parker,
Yes.
trustee Petty,
Yes.
trustee Coon,
Yes.
trustee Ridley,
Yes.
vice chair Rochester,
Yes.
trustee Sebastro,
Yes.
trustee Simmons,
Yes.
trustee Vaughn,
Yes.
trustee Walker,
Yes.
trustee Kirkland.
Yes.
We have a majority.
Motion passed.
Second and last resolution with regards to collective bargaining agreement with the Lee University Police Association. Whereas the administration and police association, and police union of Lee University have negotiated a new collective bargaining agreement. And whereas the collective bargaining agreement covers the period of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028. And whereas the collective bargaining agreement outlines the terms and conditions upon which the two entities will collaborate to advance the mission goals and objectives of Lincoln University. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lincoln University Board of Trustees endorses the recommendation of the Business Affairs Committee for the adoption of the police union collective bargaining agreement for the period July 1, 2025 to June 30th, 2028. What is your pleasure?
Move to adoption, Mr. Chairman.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadiness?
In the past, Mr. Chairman, we have gotten an outside law firm to look at both the collective bargaining agreements and written us clearance letter or opinion letter regarding this. My question is, are we doing that this time?
So Attorney Boston gave us the letter of legal for all of the CBA's reading for it.
So we're saving money.
We're saving money.
All right.
If you paying her, we saving money. Yes.
You answered my question.
Is there any other unreadiness? Hearing none, vote.
Right. Chairman Corbin,
Yes.
President Allen,
Yes.
trustee Archie,
Yes.
trustee Carney Nunez,
Yes.
trustee Cooks,
Yes.
trustee Dix,
Yes.
trustee Garcia,
Yes.
trustee Hartwell,
Yes.
trustee Hooks,
Yes.
trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Jones Clement,
Yeah.
trustee Jordan,
Yes.
trustee Lancaster,
Yes.
trustee Lawson,
Yeah.
trustee Maddox,
Aye.
trustee May,
Yes.
trustee Lewis, yes, trustee Love,
Yes.
trustee Johnson O'Serum,
Yes.
trustee Parker,
Yes.
trustee Petty,
Yes.
trustee Coon,
Yes.
trustee Ridley,
Yes.
vice chair Rochester,
Yes.
trustee Sebastro,
Yes.
trustee Simmons,
Yes.
trustee Vaughn,
Yes.
trustee Walker,
Yes.
trustee Kirkland.
Yes.
We have majority.
Motion passed. Next, we'll move to educational policy. Trustee Johnson O'Serum.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Educational Policy Committee met yesterday with the meeting convening at 1:47 PM. We had a quorum. Some of the major highlights, thank you. Some of the major highlights from the meeting. We had the introduction of our new provost and dean of the faculty, Dr. Pia Dees. We had the opportunity actually in this meeting to, if you will, come together with the Student Affairs Committee and discuss the marriage between the curricular and the co-curricular at Lincoln with respect to academic success as, if you will, the major components for academic success for students were defined as academic achievement, engagement in learning, and career readiness. We really had the opportunity to learn about 3 excellent examples of high-impact practices from both faculty and students, which enhance student success. The living learning community that we heard about with respect to Crescent Hall. Looking at the course Public History in Black, led by Dr. Hawkins and Professor Leitner. Secondly, we heard about experiential learning, the Black Freedom Heritage Tour to New Orleans. Wish I could have gone on it myself. And thirdly, we had the opportunity to hear from one of our senior computer science majors about his experience and the impact of internships as a high impact practice on his life at Lincoln. We heard from the faculty representative, Dr. Sam Williams, about the faculty's engagement in creating opportunities for students, providing financial literacy in nearby communities. And with respect to the board and the key takeaways for us, first, that we really, if you will, think about and suggest, based on the networks that we have, information about possible internships and other co-curricular learning opportunities for our students. And secondly, that we increase our financial support for high impact practices for our students. Our meeting adjourned at 3:51 p.m. And we also have to present a proposed motion for the collective bargaining agreement for faculty. Whereas the administration and faculty have negotiated a new collective bargaining agreement, and whereas the collective bargaining agreement covers the period July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028, and whereas the collective bargaining agreement outlines the terms and conditions upon which the two entities will collaborate to advance the mission, goals, and objectives of Lincoln University. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lincoln University Board of Trustees endorses the recommendation of the Educational Policy Committee for the adoption of the Faculty Collective Bargaining Agreement for the period July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028. I'd ask for a motion to approve.
Motion. Second. It's been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadiness?
The question is, as a condition of both of all three collective bargaining agreements, take into consideration the lack of appropriation that we received from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Is that a condition? Can't fund it if we don't get our appropriations, I assume.
So it's not a condition, but it's built into the collective bargaining agreements. There's always an opportunity to go back and negotiate.
To reopen that collective bargaining.
And to agree upon a side letter and to deal with anything that may come up along the way. So yes, we had open conversations about that. I know during the faculty negotiations, because I was.
So they understand it's impliedly one of the provisions there.
Yeah, just in terms of resource availability overall.
Good.
So the agreement is based upon good faith and what we believe the outlook should be, but should something change, there's an opportunity to go back to the table when we talk about what that may mean, what the agreement.
You have to call them over.
That's it. Is there any other unreadiness? Hearing none, call vote.
Right. Chairman Corbin,
Yes.
President Allen,
Yes.
Trustee Archie,
Yes.
Trustee Barney Nunes,
Yes.
Trustee Phillips,
Yes.
Trustee Diggs,
Yes.
Trustee Garcia,
Yes.
Trustee Hargrove,
Yes.
Trustee Hooks.
Yes.
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Jones Clement.
Yes.
Trustee Jones. Trustee Jordan,
Yes.
Trustee Lancaster, yes. Trustee Lawson,
Just left that.
You stepped out for a moment.
Trustee Maddox.
Aye.
Trustee May,
Yes.
Trustee Lewis, yes. Trustee Love,
Yes.
Trustee Johnson O'Sara,
Yes.
Trustee Parker,
Yes.
Trustee Petty,
Yes.
Trustee Coon,
Yes.
Trustee Ridley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rochester,
Yes.
Trustee Trustee Sebastro,
Yes.
Trustee Simmons,
Yes.
Trustee Vaughn,
Yes.
Trustee Walker,
Yes.
Trustee Kirkland.
Yes.
We have a majority.
Motion passed. Next item under the standing committees is the audit committee. Chairman Joe.
Thank you, Chairman Corbin. First, I just want to say,
I'm going to apologize up front because I do not have that same enthusiasm and excitement that the last 4-year audit chair carried with me. So I just want to let you know, mine's a little different. I'm gonna give you some enthusiasm, but not the vigor that trustee Lewis did.
You're not going to pray?
No, I believe that trustee Lewis. But what I am gonna do is say, we met yesterday, September 19, 2025. We convened at 4:05. Some of the highlights of the meeting, we reviewed the fiscal year 2025 audit update for financial statements, federal programs, federal aid, single aid, and employee benefit plan 403B. Financial statement and financial aid audits will be presented at the November meeting, and the employee benefit plan 403B audit has been completed, and form 5500 will be filed before October 15th deadline. CLA presented 2024 employee benefit plan results. The audit options opinion is unmodified, clean. So I wanted to let's say that, and then I do have a resolution I want to bring to the board for adoption. And the resolution states, resolved that the Lincoln University Board of Trustees accepted the employee benefit plan 403B audit for the period ending December 31st, 2024 and 2023, reviewed by Clifton Lawson Allen LLC and presented by University Administration at a meeting of the Audit Committee held September 19, 2025. Clifton Lawson Allen LLC issued an unmodified opinion of the audit.
Move adoption, Chairman.
Been moved and properly second. Is there any unreadiness? Yes, recognize you.
Just for the record, the draft meeting minutes, it should probably reflect that I was not in attendance, but excused from that meeting. It says that I was in attendance, so it's.
You were excused.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make that adjustment. Any other unreadiness? Hearing none, move to the vote.
Chairman Corbin,
Yes.
President Allen,
Yes.
trustee Archie,
Yes.
trustee Carney Nunez,
Yes.
trustee Cook,
Yes.
trustee Vick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia,
Yes.
trustee Hargrove,
Yes.
trustee Hook,
Yes.
trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Jones Quinn,
Yes.
trustee Jordan,
Yes.
trustee Lancaster,
Yes.
trustee Lawson, trustee Maddox,
Aye.
trustee May,
Yes.
trustee Lewis, yes, trustee Love,
Yes.
trustee Johnson O'Serum,
Yes.
trustee Parker,
Yes.
trustee Petty,
Yes.
trustee Kuhn,
Yes.
trustee Ridley,
Yes.
vice chair Rochester,
Yes.
trustee Sebastro,
Yes.
trustee Simmons,
Yes.
trustee Vaughn,
Yes.
trustee Walker,
Yes.
trustee Kirkland.
Yes.
We have a majority.
Motion passed. Next, we're gonna move to the consent agenda. Just for everyone's edification, the evaluation committee will report out an executive session coming out of the executive session. They will subsequently report to the board and to the public. On the consent agenda, first, the investment committee, you can take this to trustee Sebastro.
Good morning, the investment committee met, meeting convened, 8:01 AM on Tuesday, September 16th. For the first half of the meeting, Bank of America reviewed the investment portfolio, through August 31st, 2025. The total endowment balance, with Bank of America is approximately, 52.5 million as of August 31st. They expect the economy to slow down but continue to grow as inflation and tariffs continue to add to the unsettling environment. There was an expectation that the Fed would cut rates, interest rates this month. And then again, before the end of 2025, that cut did materialize on September 17th. There was also an update from Goldman Sachs on the approximately 11 million that was moved to the university from the foundation on May 28, 2025. The portfolio balance with Goldman Sachs is 11.9 million for a total of about 65 million across both the Bank of America and Goldman Sachs portfolios. The meeting adjourned at 9:01 a.m.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, trustee Robinson.
I'll say the treasury report shows only 5,600,000. Is that for that Goldman Sachs has under management?
That's the foundation.
Is that, I'm sorry, that's the foundation.
Correct, yeah, the foundation has the 5 million and change. The university has a 52.5 plus 11 million that was moved from Goldman over to the university. So it's a 65 approximately at the university between Goldman and Bank of America, and then another 5 that is with Goldman at the foundation.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much, trustee Sebastio, for your 8 a.m., 8:01.
That's why I didn't get it.
That's right. So, moving next to, plan development / external affairs, trustee Love.
Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, the Planning and Development External Affairs Committee met at 11:05 a.m. We had a quorum. Here are some of the highlights. Harry Stinson, VP of Institutional Advancement, gave a presentation on department activity since the last board meeting in April. Harry presented the giving summary showing dollars by restriction. We came in just under 3 million, with 1 million of the temporarily restricted dollars coming from the Mellon Foundation. The unrestricted dollars came in at 617,000, which was about the same as fiscal year 24. This year we will focus on improving the unrestricted dollars. We really need to get this number over 1 million. The giving update, we have set a goal of 5 million for fiscal year 26. With the expectation that the Thurgood Marshall Foundation grant of 2 million will be approved before the end of the calendar year. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And that will leave about 3 million needed from other sources. We also have several other grants identified totaling more than 1 million. Hopefully we can close most of those and identify more as we settle into the new fiscal year. Dr. Allen mentioned yesterday that Lincoln, being an HBCU, does not fall under the Trump administration's definition of DEI. As such, we need to remind corporations and foundations that they can freely give to Lincoln without political consequence. The current administration has recently encouraged financial support of HBCUs. Although our goal is always fundraising, we need to improve our alumni giving percentage to help our Lincoln story. In collaboration with the new Alumni Association President Eric B. Coates, we have set a hard goal of 10% alumni giving in fiscal year 26, with a whisper goal of 20%. The AALU will capture all alumni giving and present the names to Institutional Advancement quarterly, so that all giving is captured. Eric had mentioned that this morning in his update. We currently have about 18,000 living alums, so 10% would be around 1,800 alums giving. Harry showed a chart that last fiscal year we had 902 recorded alums giving, or about 5%. This was a 60% improvement over fiscal year 24. So we're looking at 100% improvement this year over last year. Harry and his team are also preparing a full court press at homecoming with events, man booths, QPR codes, signs, you name it, around campus to encourage alums to give. With the help of the AALU, we believe 10% should be easily reached. There is an old Billie Holiday song that says, "God blesses a child that has his own." This is a huge opportunity for us to help ourselves, as well as prepare the ammunition needed for the foundation board to start the $100 million fundraising campaign next fiscal year. Quick website update. Harry's, since last fall, Harry and his team have been focusing on website improvement to make it easier for alums to give. We are also very close to having student need profiles on the giving page so that alums understand the impact of their giving. Harry also noted in his presentation that we have a new marketing partner, AP Creative, that has replaced Slice. AP Creative offers better services and technology that would be needed in telling our Lincoln story. Staffing. Harry also announced that some of his staff overhead is now being covered by the foundation, freeing up dollars to hire much needed new staff. Those include a prospect researcher, which is in progress, and director of communications and marketing. I believe that's in negotiation. Most institutions our size have 12 to 15 on staff and institutional advancement. Lincoln currently has 7. So the growth plan in Harry's department should have an immediate impact on our ability to raise funds, as well as provide the necessary touches to retain and nurture current relationships. In closing, as a board, we need to do our part in giving minimally at an 1854 level. I know Chairman Corbin's going to stress this as well, probably later, as well as we also need to shake the trees and encourage alums to give, and also to support our 10% goal of alumni giving. With no further business, we adjourned our meeting at 12:24 p.m.
Thank you, Trustee Love. Any questions? Hearing none, we're going to move to student affairs. Trustee Garcia.
Thank you, Chair Corbin. My pleasure to present the report. We had a joint meeting yesterday with Trustee Osirum and the Educational Policy and Academic Affairs Committee. I had the distinct pleasure of introducing our new Vice President for Student Success and Dean of the College, Dr. Kimberly Smith, who is just extremely well suited for this role. And to expand upon what Trustee Osirum shared earlier, we learned about what the marriage between co-curricular and curricular looks like in practice, the core components that make up student success, and the range of co-curricular activities that the student success team organizes to promote across all Lincoln Lions attending the institution. We had 3 faculty, staff, and student presentations about Crescent Hall. During that presentation, we heard from student Neve Washington, who really just brought to light what it is like to be a part of Crescent Hall once her cohort is able to move in to that newly renovated space. We also heard from student Grace Daramola, who shared her experience as part of the Black Freedom Heritage Tour in New Orleans that Dr. Michael Wilson and Professor Desmond Beach organized for the institution. And last but not least, we heard about Deshaun Ziegler's Lincoln University journey. As Trustee Osirum mentioned, he is a computer science major and a senior, and he really exemplified how Lincoln helps students find their path, transform themselves, and prepare them for what comes next. Next, we heard an update from Student Government Association President Trustee Nathan Hargrove, who is on us on Zoom today, and what his goals are for the Student Government Association this year, which include greater engagement with the administration. And last but not least, I will reiterate the 2 requests from both Trustee Osirum and my committee, which is for trustees to support efforts to create and cultivate opportunities for Lincoln faculty, staff, and students to participate in high-impact practices via the professional roles and networks that we currently inhabit, and to support the raising of funds designated to support curricular and co-curricular activities. The meeting adjourned at 3:51 p.m. and I'm happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Okay, we'll move to trustees' degrees and nominations. Trustee Lancaster.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The trustee degrees and nominations committee met on the 18th of September at 4 p.m. There was a quorum present with guests. We had 4 items for discussion. 1, we reviewed a set of proposed committee guidelines addressing responsibilities and timelines for those responsibilities for the committee. 2, we discussed the upcoming vacancies on the board set for June 30th, 2026. We will have 1 alumni seat vacant, and we will have 2 university seats vacant at that time. We discussed the honorary degree recommendation process and its timeline. And we discussed the creation of a subcommittee in the TDN to take charge of the onboarding of new trustees. With that, we had no actions for recommendation. We adjourned at 4:45 p.m. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, trustee Lancaster, for that report. We're going to get ready and move to executive session. We're gonna give a 10-minute break because it's probably gonna take about that long for us to make the transition. So it's currently 11:06. It's gonna seem odd, but 11:16, we're gonna get started. So take a 10-minute break. Those who must clear the room if you're not part of the board for executive session. We will notify you if you're in the holding room. When we come out of executive session, we'll wait 5 minutes to resume so that you have time to come back in if that's your pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Oh. My
Adriana, are you guys gonna send us to another room for the meeting?
He's amazing. You see, get line up. Back in 2023.
And then I understand.
But also from another agency in policy. After I worked transmission like that.
Get started, coming out of executive session. We're gonna call on, the evaluation committee, trustee Walker, would you report out on the evaluation committee?
Thank you, Van. The evaluation committee met on September 17, 2025 at 5 p.m. A quorum was established. The committee reviewed the annual presidential evaluation process, the evaluation criteria, including the president's self-evaluation, committee correspondence regarding the evaluation process. The committee reviewed and discussed the evaluation criteria and the overall committee evaluation, which resulted in one motion rather for the board to consider. And I believe Trustee Parker will read that read that motion for the board's consideration.
Thank you. To be resolved that the Lincoln University Board of Trustees hereby accept and approve the recommendation of the Evaluation Committee regarding the compensation of Dr. Brenda A. Allen, President of Lincoln University.
Okay, what is your pleasure?
So it's adoption, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and probably seconded. Any unreadiness? Hearing none, move to the vote.
Chairman Corbett,
Yes.
trustee Archie,
Yes.
trustee Carney Nunez,
Yes.
trustee Cook,
Yes.
trustee Dix,
Yes.
trustee Garcia,
Yes.
trustee Hargrove. Trustee Hargrove,
It's gone.
okay. Trustee Hook,
Yeah.
trustee Jones Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Jones Clement,
Yes.
trustee Jordan,
Yes.
trustee Lancaster,
Yes.
trustee Lawson,
Yeah.
trustee Maddox,
Aye.
trustee May,
Yes.
trustee Lewis, yes, trustee Love,
Yes.
trustee Johnson Osira,
Yes.
trustee Parker,
Yes.
trustee Petty,
Yes.
trustee Kuhn. Okay, trustee Ridley,
Yes.
vice chair Rochester,
Yes.
trustee Sebastro,
Yes.
trustee Simmons,
Yes.
trustee Vaughn,
Yes.
trustee Walker,
Yes.
trustee Kirkland.
Yes.
Sorry.
Motion passed. Before we move to the last item, new business, and I think that trustee Lancaster has one thing. I just want to thank everyone for their diligence, thank all the board, committee chairs and the vice chairs, and everyone on the committees for all the hard work you're doing. It really makes a difference, and we'll get more efficient. The better we do in committee, the faster we move through these board meetings. So it shows that everyone has put in the work and it's greatly appreciated. Dr. Allen is doing a phenomenal job. Our role as ambassadors now, I think that trustee Love talked about it yesterday in his meeting. We have to make sure that we're setting the example. At upcoming homecoming, we need to be ambassadors for the university and challenging everybody that we know to give. We're talking with Vice President Harry Stenson to make sure that we as board members have a sheet that we can fill out the name. And if somebody gives you $5, we need to get that reported. It's important. And they give you 5, ask for 5 more. You know, and if they give you 10, ask for 10 more. And that's, as board members, I think it's important that, you know, I wait till the end of the year, you know, to give. I see that a lot of people are giving monthly. I'm gonna try to adopt that mindset, you know, but I think it's a good thing to do as long as you give. And you know when you're gonna give. When Harry calls each board member, just let him know when you're gonna give and then just hold yourself accountable. It doesn't, you know, cause I'd rather give on June 28th or 29th myself. So if you're of that mindset, that's fine, you know, but Dr. Allen always shares with me that if you getting that monthly habit, it just goes, they just take it out, you know. Some people have bigger pockets than me, so I have to wait till the end of the year. But I greatly appreciate everything that you're doing and just to be that ambassador, if nothing else. I am so proud to be the chair of this board. When you look around the room, and you also look around the room, I mean, this is an incredible board and we're only gonna get better. We're only gonna get stronger, but we have to make sure that every day, starting today, the ones of us going to the football game, when you see somebody you know, ask them to give. Because we don't, those students, that 92% that come in here, that light is shining bright when they come in. If they can't stay till next semester or next year, that light for their community, that light for their family, and that light for them goes out. And we don't know if it's gonna come back on. So it's important that we get in the habit of giving. And it doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter what you give as long as you give what you can. So give what you can, and when you can give more, because it's important. You know, we have 100% board participation in giving.
Gerald Bruce talked about that every single meeting. I'm gonna talk about it every single meeting because it's important that we maintain that. But let's get our alumni more engaged a little bit at a time. So with that, we're gonna turn to new business and then let trustee Lancaster know that he's the only thing holding us up from adjournment. Trustee Lancaster.
Just take my time. I mentioned this to Dr. Allen last evening, and I wanted to raise it because a number of folks have asked me about, one, they said, what does the pen represent? Well, the pen means you gave money. So if you want to get a pen, talk to Harry. But the thing I did want to talk about was when I came on the board, we were issued trustee ID cards. And the example I'm going to give as to why I think it is important. Last year at homecoming, a classmate of mine who was helping with a catered event on campus asked me to take her to the location to pick up food and come back. When I got to the gate, they told me there was no more parking on campus. I couldn't come in. I said, wait a minute, I'm a trustee. He said, do you know how many people have told me that? I pulled out my ID card. I said, but how many have said it to you and had this? And he let me on campus. So just in terms of the small thing that I think would help folks, we could do that. I think that is important.
So next, in November on Friday, for the lunch hour or before, we'll have them set up over at IT to anyone who does not have an ID, they will make one for you.
Was Mr. Lancaster's picture on the ID?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Almost look like you, Bob, right?
No.
Trustee Manager, anything close on adjournment? Yes.
Okay, well, real quick, I just wondered if the board has ever considered, and maybe it has in the past, I vaguely remember, an affinity credit card for alumni. There are big programs and institutions that offer this, whereby alumni can just apply for a MasterCard or Visa or American Express with the Lincoln logo on them, right? And certain banks that issue these cards can also then peel off awards and peel off percentages that go back to the university in their coffers. And so, from use of those cards. And so I'm just wondering if we've ever considered that. Has that ever been in the conversation?
So we will ask Harry to give us an update. I believe it's been in the conversation, and it may even be in existence, and not everybody knows.
I was just gonna
Have
say,
one?
yes, I was just gonna actually say, there was one at the CIAA tournament, because it caught my eye, because I had our Bank of America folks there. So there was a Lincoln, there were actually two versions. One had the lion and it had the L, and one had the card was orange. And then I think it was one geared towards alumni. 99% sure I saw that, but there is one, I believe, that is out there.
About communication, JP, that's.
That's exactly right. I'm already on it.
Let me just add to that. It may be out there, but if it doesn't give benefit to the school, then that's not really an affinity card. That's.
And trustee Love, you're on trustee Love's committee?
No.
Yeah, we need to see the, we need the. Trustee Love's committee, at least as a person on the committee, to kind of give inputs. I think you would serve well there. Trustee Love, please draft,
Absolutely. Welcome to my team.
anything else for the good of God?
Also make sure that the new trustees also get the trustee beds too as well.
Let's see.
Not just, I give money, I'll have no pen, not even a lion pen, so.
We'll make sure you get it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Some things that you guys can, but we have some Lincoln pen, we'll have some available for you. So there's for the foundation, which is the Lincoln Society. But there's always a Lincoln University pen to do it.
Anything else? Hearing nothing, would someone please move for adjournment?
So moved.
This meeting is now adjourned.
What time?
12:18.
I'm going 18. Like, we should just focus on, like, 18 minutes.